everybody, it's Kelly with Kellyscards.ca, and I'm so glad you could join me. This is a brand new card kit. This will be the everyday card kit number 5. All of the other card kits have been sold out. At the moment, we're going to get into this card series. There's going to be 6 cards in this series. This will be card number 1. We will be putting this together shortly. I also want everyone to know that for this card kit, I have included an extra strip of sentiments that you can cut up and add to the cards in case you want different things. So for instance, I have congratulations and happy anniversary. So if you want a wedding card, obviously you're not going to put happy anniversary, but you could choose the appropriate sentiment there. So I am including that in this kit. And so for instance, on this card, if you don't want to use this sentiment, you can see if there's another one that perhaps fits better. Also, if you stamp your own, you can always add your own to the cards as well. So getting into this first card, I have picked out these purple colors, and this is a beautiful image with these teacups, and what I've done is I've just photoshopped it to match the colors perfectly. So I've done that, as well as I have made this sentiment here and then just printed it off for us, and I have die cut this piece here. So what we're going to do first is attach the strip. You always attach whatever is on top that is even with the card base, because it's easier just to cut off the end if there's any extras. So I'm just going to lay this on here, and I'm going to put it down about there. And then, as I said, there'll be a little bit left over the top perhaps, and then I can just cut this off now. If I adhere this piece down, I won't be able to do that. So I always do the strip first. So now the strip's on there. I've already also removed the adhesive backing on the back, and we can bring in our card base here and put this down. So now I've got that on there nice and straight, and again, I just love having the card base stick out because it adds a bit of pop to the card, and when we bring in our other elements that are black, you're going to really see this help the card. So this next section is this section here, and I have already put the adhesive on, and I'm going to pull off the backings, and I just love this layering look. Now you can put this on and then we can build it up on pop dots, or you can do it flat. For this first part here, we're going to do this nice and flat. And then you can choose if you want to pop this up with pop dots. You can definitely put some pop dots on here to give it dimension. For me, I'm going to probably plan on mailing this one, so I'm going to just adhere it down with my score tape nice and flat. Now for this piece, we do want it extremely centered, so definitely take the time to make sure it is as centered as it can be, and that looks good. And now you definitely see that the pattern paper was quite busy, so layering this on top still give us the look of the pattern paper underneath, but it's not as busy. For this part, I am just going to take my tape runner on the back of the image here and get this adhered to the Spellbinders. This is a scalloped Spellbinders die that I've used to get this shape, and both the circles and the scallop circles work together so that it comes out very perfect and nice like that. So now that we've got this, this will be popped up, and now we have to figure out what to do with our sentiment and this little leaf flourish I've cut. So I was thinking I would stick this out. Now I don't want it sticking beyond the card because we don't want this to break in the envelope. So we're going to put it about here, and this sentiment actually will fit perfectly here. So I'm going to use one of these Memento Tuxedo Black. This is the dual brush marker, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to edge the edge of this sentiment black because I don't want to see the white sticking out. This is going to really help the sentiment just bond with the card just a little bit better rather than seeing the black and white edges on this particular piece. So as you can see there, it's just making it a little bit more finished. I'm just going to wipe my hands because I don't want to get any ink over any of the card now, but as you can see, it's just a little bit more finished. A lot of people do this when they stamp out little critters and then they die cut them out, and just to remove that white edge, you can use any marker. I like this one because it's actually an ink made for stamping and card making, so I like that one. I also like the brush tip on it. So for the sentiment, I am going to lay this flat now. I don't want this one popped up. I'm just going to have it flat because it's going to probably go under just the edge of this leaf. So I'm going to put it right in this corner. And this is going to help this sentiment just come out a little bit. And now we can kind of see the placement of where everything's going to go. And like I said, this little leafy piece is going to just go over top. And then our teacup will go right there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put this piece down now. And one little trick that I like to do is take a piece of tape and just tape down the stem, because no one's going to see that tape because our image is going to go over top. But now as I come in with my glue, I know this is not going to move or get out of place. So today I'm going to use a little of this multi-matte medium, and this is just a nice wet glue that will dry matte. And I'm just going to lift a few of the spots up and dab underneath this die cut. Okay, so I'm going to lift it up and I'm just going to gently squeeze and dab a few of the spots. Again, I'm not going to cover the whole piece. I don't really need to. And then once I've done that, I'm going to put this down to let it dry. Now if you get any extra glue, because it's this matte finish, it's not going to have this overly shiny, glossy look left on your cards. So that's really why a lot of people like this glue. And anything not glued down, you can just go back after and just find those spots and just dab a little bit of glue. It's also fine if you don't want to glue down as much the ends, just so that there's a little bit movement there. But if you're going to mail it, you probably want to have it fairly flat. So you'll probably want to glue down, especially these little ends here, so the whole piece doesn't move. So now going into the image, I am going to throw this up on Pop Dots. So I have the Pop Dots on there now, and we can put this on. And again, we want to really look at where this image is going to go. It should be fairly centered in this frame. Even though there's more stuff down here than up here, it's a good idea to kind of mostly center it in the frame and then to just place it down. To add another black accent, I have 3 bling. I'm thinking you can either put it here or on here, and what I'm going to do is take a look at it in both places and then make a decision. So over here it actually balances nicely. If I put it on the inside here, I think this is too busy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these bling on this corner here, and then it won't be as busy, but still add a little bit of a black accent. So I just have a new Wink Stella pen, and I'll just show this quickly. When you get these pens and they're brand new, you need to unscrew this and take this little black piece off. And then once that's off, you can screw your pen back together. And on the side, you'll see the word push. And you really only have to do this once to get this fluid moving. So now I'm going to take my Wink Stella pen now that it is all ready, and I'm just going to add a little bit of the glitter on top of the rose here, and then each of the little roses on the teacups, just to add something a little sparkly. Now you could use Stickles. Stickles is a little bit more messier. You can also use the Spectrum Noir sparkle pens. Those are really good pens as well. And it just adds a little bit of a sparkle. So I'll see if, there you can kind of see as I tilt this in the light, the little bit of sparkle. Okay, and the last step for this card here, we're just going to pull the backing off of our inside piece so we have a place to write. And we will put this into the card. And there, that ends the first card in my card kit series. There will be 5 more cards, and again, they will all be a little bit different. I like to keep them a little bit more open-ended, that you can make this card, say a birthday card or thank you card or whatever type of card you need, get well, and then that way you guys have some options when you make these cards. So I hope you enjoyed this card. Please look out for the other videos. I thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a very wonderful day.